From Aldgate reiterating what we're now being told by Scotland Yard that this is
markets around the city remain informed of what happened on Saturday has filled Delhi residents with terror.
Well, what I'm seeing is a lot of very, very frightened people, as you know.
In the year 610 AD, on a rocky mountain overlooking Mecca, a 40-year-old man named Muhammad was reflecting on the purpose of life. After years of deep thinking and meditation, he began to receive divine revelation.
The revelations that he received is called the Quran, a divine book which came from the same source as the Torah sent to Moses and the Gospel which was given to Jesus Christ.
The relationship between the Quran and the previous revelations is that of a clarifier and explainer. The Quran comes from the same source as is illustrated in the Quran and even in those previous revelations that prophesied the coming of Muhammad and the Quran itself.
To this day, the Quran continues to be the key source of guidance for billions of followers. People from all walks of life adopt the way of the Quran through the example of Muhammad.
New York City, September 11, 2001. Two hijacked Boeing 767s crashed into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center as the world looked on. The terrorist attack was unprecedented in its carnage. In the media coverage which followed, the attack exposed how a high-tech urban society could be seriously impacted by a low-tech, well-planned, inexpensive terrorist campaign.
It was a plane that crashed into the Pentagon, and we have
smoke on the west side of the building. It's being evacuated, and a report that a plane may have crashed into.
September 11th, 2001. One of the most horrifying days in American history. The terrorist attack on the Pentagon was a direct strike at the heart of the United States military.
We have, in fact, declared Force Protection Condition Delta and a condition of high alert, indeed the highest alert.
I knew a plane had hit the building. and I was aware of the terrorist incident that happened at the World Trade Center. So I knew that this was related. My mind, my body said, boom, it's time for action.
When I came into the openness outside of the building, it became very scary. I was still thinking that there was going to be a second hit.
Some of past deployments went through my mind, and I said, I cannot believe this is happening right here in my backyard and on American soil.
I think every one of us here knew somebody that worked down there or had family members that worked there in different parts of the building. Everybody was pumped up thinking we're going to make a lot of rescues here and we're going to do some great work.
This unforgettable day was the beginning of a profound journey into fear and courage, rescue and loss. The Pentagon was a community challenged.
The United States of America will use all our resources to conquer this enemy. We will rally the world. We will be patient, we'll be focused, and we will be steadfast in our determination. This battle will take time and resolve, but make no mistake about it, we will win.
I hate flying. The lines, the crowds, the delays.
I always kind of liked it. 6 hours, one seat, nobody can get to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our non-stop service from New York to London.
You fly much?
All the time, actually. Someone on this flight is threatening to kill someone every 20 minutes unless $150 million is transferred to this account number.
We're midway across the Atlantic. How do you kill someone in a crowded plane and get away with it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I need every passenger to raise their hands above their head.
This is a bad idea.
Marshal, we have a right to know what the hell is going on.
Agent Marks, the account number you gave us is in your name.
What? That doesn't make any sense. This is a setup. Something else is going on.
The FBI, the White House, and Interpol are confirming reports that an international flight has been hijacked by an air marshal.
Agent Marks, our fighter escort has you in their sight. Do you hear me?
We're running out of time. Do you hear me? I'm not hijacking this plane. I'm trying to save it.
And what are the motivating factors behind terrorism?
In taking a look at some of the motivating factors of terrorism, poverty, ideology, and religion, over and over and over again in international terrorism, these factors become seeds that cause terrorism to germinate.
Experts believe that terrorists forge loyalty to their group members through justification, by arguing and getting agreement that terrorism is a justifiable revenge for social evils.
All warriors need to feel justification. Terrorists are no different. For a terrorist to take violent, murderous action, the terrorist must feel that that action is justified, that it's valid.
Impoverished nations such as Algeria, Egypt, Afghanistan, Sudan, Somalia, and Pakistan are fertile areas for terrorist organizations to attract new recruits. Third world birth rates are up to 4 times higher than those of wealthy industrialized nations. This, combined with a rising disparity in income, is a formula for brewing terrorism. Adolescents and even children are frequent targets for recruiting. Once taken in by a group, impoverished young men and boys are easily manipulated. Their views and ideas are largely forged by the group, since they have little exposure outside of their adoptive family. The goal is to take the uneducated and the impoverished and turn them into hardened warriors, ingrained with a narrowly defined worldview and an often deadly mission in life.